Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Ledwell and this is The Inspiration Show. I'm very excited about today's show because I have with me someone who's a little bit of a personal hero of mine, a gentleman by the name of Dave Asprey, who actually has come up with this amazing formula and a book called The BulletProof Diet. And for those of you who have been watching the show for the last year or so and noticed the transformation in my physical appearance, a lot of it has to do with the bulletproof coffee that I've been using, which is one of the brainchild of Dave Asprey. So welcome, Dave, to the show. How are you?
Natalie, I'm really well, and I'm so just excited to hear that it's working for you. That's so cool.
Thank you. You know what? Who knew that I could actually, because I love coffee, and in the US I always have a bit of an issue with finding good coffee because, you know, I'm from Australia. We have a very big Italian community there, so we get very good coffee. That's hard to find it here, but this is the first time I've had coffee that actually, you know, not only does it make me feel good, it doesn't drop me, and it also I don't feel hungry for the rest of the day, which is fantastic. So it really helps me to stick to my diet regime. But why don't we start, before we get into the amazing, you know, information about the diet and coffee? Why don't we start with your story, because you are what we call a biohacker. So what is a biohacker, and how did you discover the whole thing with the bulletproof coffee?
A biohacker is someone, or we'll say biohacking is the art of changing the environment around you. Have control of your own biology. We just sort of became aware of how much our body is programmed from the genetic level on up by our environment, and we have an unprecedented level of control of the environment around us. We can pick what we put in our bodies. We can pick what temperature we want it to be. We can choose when to sleep. And we never really had that throughout most of our evolutionary history. So now we can change the environment to change ourselves. I weighed 300 pounds, and I was having severe brain fog in my mid-20s. Doctors weren't really in a position to help me. At least I didn't know how to find the right doctors, because there are the right kind of doctors out there. And I took matters into my own hands. I ended up spending $300,000 and 15 years like hacking my biology. And I use the hacking term because I worked in computer security. Like I am a computer science, artificial intelligence kind of guy. And what brought Bulletproof Coffee to light was a time in Tibet. I've done a lot of meditation and spiritual work and self-awareness work. I went to Mount Kailash, very high up in the mountains, and I drank yak butter tea. And I noticed I felt profoundly good, way better than I should have, given how I would feel, say, in the Andes, where there's no yak butter tea. So I came home and I said, I'm going to try and copy this recipe, and it didn't work. So I finally figured out which butter mattered after I tested all these butters. And I tried different teas, but I didn't get the same effect. And I started using coffee, but very carefully selected coffee to not have mold toxins in it. I'd given up coffee for 5 years because, like you said, you drink it and you crash. And the crash doesn't come from the coffee. It comes from what formed on the coffee during processing. It's a quality control issue for coffee. So I engineered a coffee that I could drink without crashing that made me feel good all the time. Developed lab testing to validate that that's what was in the coffee, or more importantly, not in the coffee. And then offered this to see if other people noticed the difference. And lo and behold, not only do they, in the Bulletproof Diet book, I published the numbers from a study where we looked at executive function on tested coffee versus untested and very likely moldy coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, here's the thing. So in the mornings, I actually have it like about 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock. Then I go to the gym, I work out, then I come back and I'm in front of the computer most of the day. It's the only coffee that I have all day. I feel like I have energy all day, and, you know, and the formula that you've come up with is that you put 2 tablespoons of grass-fed unsalted butter. Plus, you put this MCT oil in there as well. And, of course, you know, I'm sure this is the #1 question you get, but everyone's like, are you sure that amount of butter? Is that what we should be doing? So can you explain a little bit about why, you know, why we can have butter and then still be burning fat or still be losing weight?
Well, when you put milk in coffee, the protein in the milk sticks to the antioxidants in the coffee, and then you can't absorb them. So you're not getting the benefits of your coffee when you add dairy protein to your coffee. Butter doesn't have that protein in it. When you have bulletproof coffee made with the brain octane, the super concentrated MCT oil, and the grass-fed butter, you're avoiding protein, you're avoiding sugar, so your body has nothing left to burn for energy but fat. And the brain octane oil very specifically turns on thermogenesis, which is what your body does when it burns fat. And the butter doesn't go to fat in the body in some crazy way. Your body says, well, I've got nothing else to burn. I think I'll burn fat. And that's what you want. That's ketosis. So when you do this all day long, you just don't feel hunger like you normally would. Food cravings just go away. And even people with profoundly strong food cravings, they drink bulletproof coffee, and it's like, I didn't want any candy. Like the cookies on the conference room table lost their power over me. And I mean, it sounds kind of crazy. Like, what, I had a cup of coffee made this way. I avoided the bad stuff, the milk protein. I avoided the mold toxins. And just by doing that and getting the right fats, like that big of a difference happened. But I think you felt the difference, right?
Absolutely. And that's the thing, because when you're sitting in front of a computer and you're doing concentrated work all day, that's when you really notice. Like, how many times do you have a big lunch and then you come back and then you've got that crash in the afternoon? Well, because you don't feel hungry. So not only have I had the workout in the morning, so I've already burnt some calories and burnt some fat, but I have a light lunch because I don't feel that hungry. And so I don't even have that crash in the afternoon. It's like I cannot even tell you enough how much this has really changed my energy levels and my body, and you're right. Like, I don't even crave junk food. I'm happy just to have something light.
Does it feel kind of almost like it's too easy, like it's effortless?
Yes.
The whole point of bulletproof is that state of resilience, and it should be effortless to lose weight. If you have to apply effort, and this is a big topic in the book, is willpower. You have that conversation when you have a craving, like your body's like, eat that. You're like, no. And you go back and forth with yourself. Eat it, no, until you've said no enough times, you just give up, like a 2-year-old pestering you. Fine, all right, just do it. So that sucks your energy, and you and I do cognitively demanding work. So if you're using your energy to say no to a food craving, well, you've got to do something in your environment to turn those off. And the Bulletproof Diet is a set of principles and a roadmap. It says these foods don't cause cravings and make you feel full all day, and they're healthy. These foods, they probably cause cravings, but they might not. You might be special and get away with it. They're suspect foods. And these are kryptonite foods. Just never eat them again, because you won't like what they do to your focus and your energy and your willpower.
No, absolutely. Now, all right, so let's talk about the diet, because, I mean, the coffee, obviously I'm a massive convert, but so tell me the concept behind the diet and how you use food, and what specific foods we should be eating. So tell us, the overall, give us the glossy version. All right, okay, hold on, we've had a bit of a freeze on Dave. We'll just wait for his internet to come back in. But it's very interesting what he says about, about the cravings. It's kind of like I haven't had to put a lot of effort into thinking about what I'm going to eat, or diminishing the amount. And I've actually probably cut down the amount of food I eat on a daily basis by about 1/3. So I have my coffee in the morning, like I said, with the butter and the MCT oil. I go and work out, and then probably about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock is when I have lunch. But I always have something really light because I'm really not that hungry. And then I'll get to the afternoon and I might have a snack or something before dinner. But the incredible thing is that that I'll be able to go all day and just have like smaller amounts of food, which is really important, because when we have big amounts of food, it really makes us sluggish and really slows down our metabolism and makes it really hard for us to get through, to get through to the day. But for me, it's like it seems so easy. Like I've hardly had to think about the calories and then what I'm eating, because I just don't feel like eating so much because I feel satiated all the time. So, okay, we've got you back, Dave. So, yeah, so give us the overview of the diet.
So on the Bulletproof Diet, what you do is you have bulletproof coffee for breakfast most mornings. And sometimes, especially for women, you add collagen protein or a couple eggs. You have some protein and fat, but never carbs in the morning. And I write in the book about what this does to the gut biome, the bacteria in your gut. and how having carbs in the morning makes you store extra fat more than your body would store, because the bacteria force you to store extra fat if they're given carbs. By starving those bacteria, they actually make you burn extra fat, which is sort of an added amplifier on top of what your body already does. And from there, we focus on vegetables. There's more vegetables in this diet than any other food, but when you look at the percent of calories, more than half the calories come from fats. Not just any fat, but saturated fats and omega-3 fats are dominant. So grass-fed butter, grass-fed meat, coconut oil, the brain octane oil, it's about 6% of what's in coconut oil, and you can concentrate that. And also a little bit of olive oil, but not a ton and not cooked. And it's a whole set of principles that say eat foods that are less inflammatory, because brain inflammation slows you down. Body inflammation gives you food cravings and makes you tired. In fact, muffin top, that thing that a lot of people struggle with, coming over the top of your waist, it changes every day, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Or even the several days before changes what your body does. And you can control all that. Once you know that this is in your control, you can totally change it.
So Dave, you've had
it's all information.
You've had a lot of success, and it's really, from what I've seen, you've had a lot of exposure. Did you ever imagine that your business and your message would grow to be so big and reach so many people?
You know what I thought was going to happen? I thought that I was going to write this blog, and I was going to write this blog because maybe 100 people like me who struggled for years to lose weight and were tired. And I've been phenomenally successful in my career in Silicon Valley, even at a young age, but it was like so much effort, and I was exhausted all the time, and I sometimes didn't even know how I was going to put one foot in front of the other. But it's not supposed to be that hard. And I just thought maybe I could share the things that I wish someone had told me when I was 20 or 25 that would have just changed my energy, changed the whole trajectory, changed the amount of effort that I just wasted. So I wanted to share that because it's not fair that I got to spend $300,000 on upgrading myself. And I put my most important stuff out there first. My first blog post was like, here's how to make this coffee that will rock your world. And I didn't know how many people cared this much about how they perform. So I'm grateful that I'm able to help more people than I originally planned. And I left my career in January of this year in Silicon Valley to help people like this, but that wasn't the plan. The plan was just like, hey, I have a good job, I have a good career, I'm not doing this for money, I just want to help people not do what I did.
Yeah, no, exactly. And the thing is, your energy is palpable, and a lot of the people that I've been coming across as well that have just seen me recently going, oh my God, you look amazing, and your energy is so amazing, and a lot of it has to do with this new, having the coffee in the morning. I actually put like a vegan chocolate protein powder in the coffee because I can't do coffee on an empty stomach. A bit of organic cinnamon and a couple of other things in there as well, just so it's kind of a little bit more hearty.
In fact, in the book, I recommend that women add protein to their bulletproof coffee. Just not because that's the stuff that sticks to the antioxidants.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what's your vision for the future, Dave? Where do you see this going?
I think that the fat cat is out of the bag, so to speak. Big industry does not want us to eat fat because it's expensive and it spoils on the shelf. They want cheap food that will never spoil because it's a lot more profitable. But you and I have experienced what life is like, and I consider grass-fed butter to be a precious commodity and a source of national security. So you and I are not giving up on this kind of food ever, because I'm not going back to what I used to feel. Once people experience this state of high performance, they won't go back. So for the future, we are shifting demands. Twice a year, the U.S. had shortages of grass-fed butter because of bulletproof coffee. Almost 700,000 people have seen the video on how to make it. So we are going to now, with all this new demand, we're going to change what the suppliers make. We're going to force them to make grass-fed dairy for us, and we're going to make restaurants have enough fat because they're embarrassed when we add our own butter to food. I'm also opening the first bulletproof coffee shop in Santa Monica. People who don't know about how you can feel can come in and try it for the first time, and just you feel it the first day. Like, wow, this was a quantifiably different day. Like, everything was better and brighter, and my energy was there, and I don't feel all ampy, and I didn't crash. So once they feel it, then they're going to start making changes, and that's going to change not just our supply of food, it's going to change how we raise our food. Like so this is going to change agriculture. And I'm excited. It'll reduce cruelty to animals, it'll improve soil quality, and it'll improve quality of life for a ton of people. And I also think that this stuff can reduce the rate of things like autism and Alzheimer's disease. When you're very old and very environmental toxins or lack of fat can mess you up. So getting the right fat into people when they're most sensitive at the beginning and end of life, it's going to change lives.
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually live in Marina del Rey, so I'm just down the road from Santa Monica, and I'm really looking forward to that coffee shop opening up. But, you know, I've even noticed, like, there's a lot of coffee stalls that I've been into, or a few coffee stalls, not a lot, but a few, that are actually now offering bulletproof coffee, you know, because now it has become such a phenomenon.
There are a few that are offering, there's about 56 now that offer bulletproof coffee made with the right beans and all. And there's a bunch of others who, you know, they blend various types of butter or coconut oil with various kinds of coffee. And butter coffee is a step in the right direction. It's much better than putting cream in your coffee. It's not quite bulletproof coffee, though.
Yeah, that's been great. Dave, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. And like I said, I cannot recommend this more than enough. If you guys click on the banner, if you click on the banner to the side of the video here, you can actually purchase the book for Dave's book. Also, if you're on the app, make sure you click down underneath. But what's the website we can send them to that you have like a whole bunch of information? Because it's not just the coffee that you have some amazing other products that I also use that really helps with brain cognitive function and a whole bunch of other things as well.
When people order the book, if they go to orderbulletproofdietbook.com, I'll send them a bunch of free stuff, like additional content that goes along with the book. And the main website is bulletproofexec.com, which is where I write my blog, and we have links to all the products and things like that. The information is all free. It's there to help you. You don't have to buy any of my stuff to succeed with this. I appreciate it if you do, just like I appreciate it if you buy the book during this first important week and you leave a review on Amazon. I would be overwhelmed with gratitude.
Yeah, guys. Well, I will definitely be doing that. And like I said, it just arrived today, so I'm very happy. I'm going to be traveling to Australia with this and following the new diet. So thanks again, Dave, and best of luck with the book tour and everything that you're doing with what you're doing. Thanks again.
Natalie, thank you.
Awesome. Now, guys, I encourage you to share this video. Please get the word out. You can do that by clicking the Facebook and the Twitter share buttons on this page. Also, make sure that you leave your email in the box on this page if you haven't done so already, so that we can send you the Manifesting with the Masters video e-course, which is valued at $87, and I want to send it to you for free. So until next time, remember to live large, choose courageously, and love without limits. We'll see you soon.